Today we have a brand new RC plane. This thing is massive. Look at this, guys. 2,000 millimeters by Arrows that comes in under $200. I've been excited to share this with you. It's getting a lot of traction. There's a lot of hype around this plane because of the price point. We have a nice folding prop, and here's one of the biggest things that I'm excited about. Let's say you're throwing a big party and you have a lot of friends over and you need to make a little bit of room. Now 2 or 3 more people can fit in the space, no problem, which is actually why I wore this shirt completely. I hope some of you guys get that little reference. Actually, taking these off is great for transportation so they don't break off, or for storage. This will actually fit in a slightly tighter space now easily by those popping on and off. But the best thing about this is totally the price point, and the whole airplane snaps together like that. There's not a single screw holding this thing together at all. The horizontal stabilizer, each wing, they snap into place. You can, if you're experienced, build this in about 3 minutes. This glider has 2 wheels so that we can do asphalt landings nice and smoothly, or nice low grass. A large, easy access canopy. I think it'll fly on something like a 1300 milliamp to a 2800 milliamp 3S battery. And the thing I'm most excited about are the flaps. I have never had a glider with flaps, at least that I can remember. I'm pretty sure I've never had flaps and ailerons built in with our rudder and elevator. So you better believe I'm excited. Guys, let's put this in the air. Okay, that's nice.
It's up in the air.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, that's cool. That was a good hand launch. Here we go. Let's just go ahead and full throttle it, yeah? I just went up into full throttle. That's nice for a 3S. Yeah, okay. This thing has some climb to it. Oh, I like the profile of this thing in the air. It's got a really cool shaped wing, you guys. So the wing tips are curved up a little bit just to help you give a nice, if you want to go soaring with this, you can. But if you want to do a lot of inverted flying, you could take those wing tips off. So all joking aside, they will help you do some more acrobatic maneuvers. But as is, you know, we could probably get just a little bit smoother flying with the wings set up the way it is. What I really want to do with this plane is like a touch and go. So let's do that really fast and then see how a landing looks on this plane. You ready, Abby?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Can we do a touch and go with this and those wheels and then pull back into the air?
That'll be impressive.
Yeah, and up.
Oh, it scratched a little. Oh, your prop probably just got chewed a little bit.
I'll do it again later, but let's practice an actual landing. I'm going to use those flaps to help slow me down. And then I want to show you guys one of the coolest things about this plane when I was putting it together that I completely forgot to mention at the beginning of the video. So can we use those flaps to slow us down some? There's half flaps. That's going to get us slowed down a little bit. Turn those flaps off and then just let it roll right in. Use a little bit of rudder to help it steer. Look at that asphalt landing. Ooh, that was good.
That's so cool.
So something I forgot to mention at the beginning of this video when I try to talk about the cool stuff of the airplane is the wing actually comes with a steel rod that sticks out to about here or so that you screw into the fuselage, which was really neat, but I thought that's not long enough to give you support for the whole wing, right? So it turns out there is a pre-installed carbon fiber rod that goes all the way out to here. And so you put the steel rod inside the carbon fiber when you put the wing on. And then guys, I know I mentioned it really briefly, but I'll say it again. The whole wing just clicks into place. So if this looks like it's too big for your car, you can literally press this button, pull the wing out, and then put it in your car, both sides. That's cool. Man, that thing is awesome. Sometimes when I hand launch planes, I feel like I have very little control over it. It gets squirrely, but this one I just feel like it's very stable on that hand launch. So for those of you that are nervous about hand launching airplanes, you know me. You've been watching the channel for years. I hate hand launching and I'm bad at it. But this thing hand launches like a breeze. And I should mention, I'm not using a safe receiver or anything like that. This is just a normal dumb tactic receiver. So cheap, cheap, cheap. Now we should be able to put some high G's into this airplane, so let's go with a nice, slow roll, but it can do it. So for a glider, that's pretty impressive to have an aileron roll. Now if I was really good at programming this radio, I could put I could mix my flaps in with ailerons and get faster, more control. But here, let's go right up into inverted. Yes, okay, not bad, not bad. I'd probably want to take those wing tips off if I wanted to fly inverted a ton, but this, I'm not having to input much elevator at all to keep it upside down. You guys know me, I'm pretty bad at flying inverted too, so that's why I'm like, at least a mistake high. And can we climb out of it outside? Let's go, full throttle up. Yes, we can. So that means we should be able to do like a Cuban 8 with this glider, which how rare is it to say that? Look at that. Man, they make good airplanes. 180 bucks, and it is a blast. Sorry, sneeze jump cut. Okay, let's throw like really high speed bank at this thing with, look at that. Yeah, wow. Okay, let's do it again. There's full elevator in that bank and full throttle. Oh yeah, this thing is quick.
Wow.
This is a lot like the Crescendo, just to be honest. I mean, the Crescendo, yes, it's 4S, so it's a little bit more powerful, but this thing has all the fun packed into it that the Crescendo does, and a little bit cheaper. You can pick whatever receiver you want. Yeah. And the fact that this thing snaps together is so cool. I like that it has 2 wheels, and we can just climb this thing and then level it out. There's 0 throttle. That prop folds up. Oh, and flaps, guys, flaps.
Have you even used them?
Well, I planned on doing it on this next pass. After a little bit of that high energy flying, we do a little bit of gliding here.
I like gliders that are also bullets. It's really fun.
I don't know how bullety this one is, but it's definitely sporty.
Well, like, so I say bullet because like you can turn and like it's so fast it disappears for a second. Yes. I don't know.
So here's full flaps and just a little bit of throttle. Look at that. Man, that's cool. So I'm using throttle to fly it, but imagine, guys, you've got a great thermal day or you're slope soaring. The fact that this has flaps means you're gonna get so much more lift and be able to fly slower. On a windy day, you could probably kite this backwards with those flaps. So let's do it. I like to do this with flaps on something like this. There's full flaps and I wanna drop it out of the sky quickly and then flare with 0 throttle. And I'm flying over here to the right a lot, mainly just because that sun is so bright.
It is really bright.
This has an ESC brake by default also. So let's go flaps off and then just climb it. And let's roll. Let's do a little bit of rudder on that. There we go. That's what I was hoping for.
Nice.
Just need a little more airspeed to make it look good. Throttle. Keep it inverted.
I hear it like cutting through the wind. Yeah, it's got that whoosh sound.
Wonder if I can get that closer to us, but inverted.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know if I should. I start getting brave, you guys, and that's when things...
It's when you added inverted to that made me nervous.
It's really fun and just snaps together. For its size, I think this is the biggest airplane that I've put together in the shortest amount of time. Does that make sense, that statement?
Yes, because I was editing a video and I was like 10 minutes in and it was like, okay, done. I was like, what?
It took me longer to take the stuff out of the box than it did to put it together. Completely honest truth. Now, speaking of complete honest truth, I think the horizontal stabilizer, at least for mine, when it clicks into place, did not click into place very hard. And I thought, oh boy, you know, that, when I just pull on it a little bit, it came back out. But then I also thought maybe my linkage from my servo to the clevis would help it. And I think that is helping it. But to be completely honest, I would probably put a dab of glue on both sides of that horizontal stabilizer if you want it to definitely stay in place. And have no chance of coming out while flying. And it's so small. I mean, look at the horizontal stabilizer. It's really small. I doubt that's going to affect your storage space very much. So if I were you, I'd put a dab of glue on that. Just know that mine almost didn't snap into place very well. And then also one of my wings, one of my main wing halves, can't remember which side, when I was putting it together, I really had to put some brute force into snapping it into place, which is not fun to do when you're dealing with foam, but I got it, and that could have just been a fluke. So I believe it would have taken me about
where'd you go?
Right there. I believe it would have taken me about 5 minutes to put together if I didn't struggle with that wing and then question myself with the horizontal stabilizer. But seriously, even with those small little, call them issues, I guess, it went together super, super fast. And if I don't mind unplugging my aileron lead and my flap lead of one side, oh, we're gonna go left side, I was saying, then I could take this wing off for transportation very quickly. Here we go. Nice, beautiful sunset flying.
I'm gonna need you to land soon because we need a thumbnail.
Oh, true.
You're running out of daylight.
Well,
that's what I was trying to tell you,
this
actually.
airplane, on a 2200 milliamp battery, we could fly for easily 15 or 20 minutes. And if we're doing a lot of soaring like this, we could fly for over an hour with no issues, and that's like a $15 to $20 battery. And if you're going back when I bought this battery, it was probably $10 back, 8 years ago when I got it. Yes, my batteries are very old. I try to take very good care of them. Do you want to do a sunset landing or a not sunset
Not
landing?
sunset landing.
Full flaps. Let's get this thing slowed down. Can I land with full flaps on and it not drag the flaps? That is a good question. So let's try it. I think we can, Abby. Yes, we can. Now flaps up so that it doesn't drag. That was really good. I'm a huge fan of this. So much control surface authority on this kind of an airplane. And there's no AS3X, there's no safe mode that I'm flying on with this receiver, and I did that on purpose. I could have thrown in a Spectrum receiver and had all that safe locked in, but I really wanted to see how this performed really purely and raw on its own, and it's exceptional. I think you can tell when you've got a good airplane from the second you hand launch it, because guys, this thing, the minute it left my hand, just boom, it was on rails. And I love that, because a lot of times when you hand launch most airplanes, at least when they have power, like a ton of power, and they have a smaller wing, they'll torque roll a lot just because of that power from the motor. And you don't get that with this airplane, which is just awesome. It's exciting to know that I can hand launch a plane over and over and over successfully. It's one of my least favorite things to do. So maybe I'll get some practice in with this and save future planes by practicing hand launching with this one. And then once it's in the air, it glides and soars perfectly. But if you want to power on full throttle and have a nice full throttle pass, or climb sky high, or do a nice roll or figure eight or something, a Cuban 8, it has more than enough power to do that. With the ESC brake that's already programmed into it, that prop folds right up and is going to help you have longer, more efficient flights, which is just another bonus. Now, most people won't appreciate this, but I have to point it out because I do. There is excess battery space in here. So for those of you that want to fly on a larger than 2200 milliamp battery, I think the highest recommended was 2800, but it might have been 32. We'll have this plane linked in our description box below, so be sure to check it out. It's kind of a mouthful of a name too, so definitely worth just clicking that link. It'll take you right to this exact airplane. This is really the reason why I wanted to talk about the canopy. Very few canopies just click right into place and work perfectly and fit so perfectly, and that one is just, it doesn't even look like a removable canopy here in my opinion, other than the fact that it's a different color, but it just clicks into place perfectly. Last but not least, these two wheels give us just silky smooth landings on the asphalt. I know I made it look easy, but all I did was bring it in for a nice smooth landing, and once those wheels are on the ground, it works kind of like a bicycle. It just kind of keeps you upright. Once you slow down, those wing tips are going to drag, but they have these little plastic protectors on the wing tip so that it'll save your foam, which is awesome. Little nubs, that's right. There's one on the tail here too.
They're nubs.
So that's really nice. That's super nice. And then of course those flaps. There's a lot to love about this plane, and I know it's going to be on the channel again soon. Maybe Abby will chase it on a future video or something, because this would be a really good one to chase.
That'll be a challenge, I think, to chase that one.
It's a nice big target. Yeah. I like planes that are easy to see, and you know what? The next flight, maybe we'll slap some RC-Sailor stickers on there or something. Really make it kind of shine just a little bit more. Super efficient, cost efficient, battery efficiency, and a lot of fun, and I think that it is made exceptionally well. This one is definitely worth your time, and it's linked in the description box below. When you buy from this site that we have linked below, it is a mom and pop shop, which I think is awesome. Here in the States, though they're not manufactured here, you're supporting small families. And when you use our links, you're supporting us, like we're a hobby shop as well. We get a small kickback from you using that link, and it doesn't cost you a single extra penny. And just for today, this beautiful evening to fly this awesome new airplane on, I give all credit to God. We are so grateful and very appreciative of the lives that we have, and just enjoying this hobby and being able to share it with you guys means a lot to us. Massive thanks to our Patreon supporters too, because without you guys, we couldn't bring the content as often as we do, the family-friendly content that we're so proud of and have been since day one, which is almost a decade ago on YouTube. I'm just really proud of that, and I just want to say massive thanks to our Patreon supporters. Because of you guys, we've been able to keep it going. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll have another really cool RC plane video popping up right about now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you there.
Bye.